I will be doing a quick tank review for the Swedish Tier 5 TD, the IKV 103. This TD for its tier, it is just average. It is not that bad nor good. Just like the predecessor TD to this, as long as you play to the strengths and weaknesses of the TD, you can do quite well in this vehicle. Let's get into the vehicle stats now. The tank stats, when it is fully upgraded, it is not that good nor bad. Let's begin off with the firepower. You will have a howitzer to use throughout the entire grind. A 105 centimeter gun, which is pretty good for its tier. Rate of fire, it is okay with 6+ rounds per minute, so with the load time of 10 seconds or less, you can easily fully aim in onto your target and hit them for the most part when you are at a medium to a short distance away with the aiming time of 2 seconds and accuracy of 0.40. The gun traverse speed, it is okay for its tier, it is 19. The penetration value is pretty good. With the gun handling stats here, you can penetrate most of the enemy tanks easily enough if you know where to aim the shell at. 120 was with the regular heat round. If you want to have a slightly better penetration value, use the premium heat to get 140 millimeters average pen. With this gun being a howitzer, you will be doing about 300 damage on average per a shot, so you can easily potentially one-shot light tanks, certain TDs, and artillery pieces. But if you are at the right place at the right time, with the distance from the enemy tank, you can easily use your damage output here to easily reduce a full hit point tank down to 0 in a hurry. The gun depression is pretty good. 12 downward, 20 up. So you can hill fight with this. You can hill fight with this if you have to. The traverse limit, it is 10 to the left and 10 to the right. With the good hold traverse that you will have, you can easily turn this tank around in a hurry if you have to. Damage per minute, it is about 1900, which is okay. Survivability, it is purely rubbish. 350 hit points. If you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be killed easily enough. With the paper-thin armor, the crew and the modules, they can be damaged easily enough. With 18 millimeters in the front, it is angled a bit, but it can be penetrated easily enough. Side armor, 7, rear 12. Mobility, it is pretty good for weighing about 9 tons. With a 175 horsepower engine. The horsepower to ton ratio, it is about 19, so you can easily reach the 60-kilometer mark top speed when you are going in a straight line or going downhill easily enough. Reverse speed, it is 20, so you can easily reach this top speed if you are going in a straight line backwards. Hold traverse speed, it is pretty good at 34. Concealment, this is where this tank, it is pretty good. I have a crew that is better than 100%, so my camouflage rating value will be a bit better. With the camouflage net, using the terrain around me, and having relatively good concealment rating. Here it is about 29 plus when the vehicle it is staying still. So as long as you use concealment wisely enough, you can shoot behind it and remain off of the enemy radar for a good amount of time until the enemy tanks see you. When the vehicle is on the move, it is about 17, so the concealment rating it is okay still when it's on the move. The vehicle-based view range it is about 340, which it can be improved even more with a pair of binocular telescope or coated optics. Radio range it is about 525 meters. So with the camouflage net and the binocular telescope here, you can be a bit of a passive scout if you have to at times. Now, let's get into the vehicle research part of the tank now. The research part of the tank is an easy tank to go through, as there is very little for you to do in the term of researching to get to the Tier 6 tank, which is supposedly very good from what I hear. Let's begin off with the tracks. To mount all of the equipment onto the tank here, you will have to get the second pair of tracks. With the second pair of tracks unlocked and being used, you have a better load limit rate and a better traverse speed from 30 to 32. The engine, you have two to use. The first one, it is okay with 150 horsepower, with the second one giving you a extra 25 horsepower. It is up to you if you want to unlock and use the second engine or not, as the second engine it is usable on this tank only. It is quite viable for you to go through this tank and only use the first engine throughout the entire grind, as with the 150 horsepower engine, you will have a decent horsepower to ton ratio still when you are going through the grind to get to the next tank. But if you want to have a slightly better horsepower to ton ratio, use the second engine here, as that 25 horsepower, it does make a bit of a difference when it comes to horsepower to ton ratio. Radios, you have two to use, the RA100 and the RA105. To use the RA105, you will have to research this radio on this tank here. So it's a good idea to unlock the top radio here, as it is usable on the tanks that actually uses this. So unlocking it now will help you with a bit of the grind when you are using the IKV 65. Now the guns. You have two guns to use. The 10.5 centimeter gun IKV 102 and 103. Both of these guns, they are roughly the same, except the 103, it is a better version of the 102 with a better rate of fire, penetration value, the accuracy and aiming time as well. The only advantage that you will have using the 102 is you have a mixture of AP, HE, and heat rounds to use, while using the 103 gun, you have heat to use only. So both of these guns, they are not that good nor bad. Use which one that you want to use throughout the entire grind. My recommendation for which gun to use is use the 103, as you have generally better stats all around, better penetration value, and you have heat as a default ammo type to use. To get to the IKV 65-2, it will cost you about just underneath 1 million credits and about 31,000 experience points. Now, let's get to the equipment ammunition layout, consumables, and how are you going to be using the IKV 103. Let's begin off with the consumables. Consumables, I would go with a first aid kit, a repair kit, and a manual fire extinguisher. These three pieces of equipment, they're quite useful for most of the vehicles that you will be using when it comes to the consumables. With the top gun here, you will have about 24 rounds of ammo to use, which is more than enough for you to use in a match. So you will not run out of ammo in a match with the howitzer here. The majority of the ammo you would be using, it is the regular heat. With 90 to 150 millimeters maximum pen, you can easily penetrate most of the tanks easily enough, as long as you know where to penetrate the heat shell with. If you are going to be using the premium heat to get slightly better penetration value, 105 to 175, each of these premium shells will cost you 11 gold or 4,400 credits. It is up to you if you want to use the premium heat or not, as I find the regular heat does the job good enough, as long as you know where to aim the gun at. Equipment, I went with the camouflage net, binocular telescope, and the gun rammer. With the 3 pieces of equipment here, I can be quite the aggressive TD if I need to be at times, while being a passive scout, being a bit of a medium to a short distance sniper if I have to. The other pieces of equipment that you can use if you want to. The toolbox, it is not a bad idea to get your repairs done faster. The enhanced gun lane drive to have a better aiming time. Coated optics for a permanent plus 10 view range when it is equipped. The wet ammo rack, it is not a bad idea if you don't want to get the tank ammo racked. And the last piece of equipment here, it is improved ventilation class 1 to get the plus 5% bonus to the crew and to have slightly better tank stats with the equipment that I mentioned. Now, let's cover how are you going to be playing the IKV 103. As a tier 5 tank, you will have tier 5 matchmaking from tier 5 up to tier 7 maximum. Whenever you're top tier, you can do quite well, as long as you play toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses. So whenever you're top tier, you can play quite aggressively if you know what you're doing. Besides that, with the thin armor and low amount of hit points, you can be killed easily enough if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. So having good map situational awareness skills and using the proper tactics at the right time, it is essential if you want to do quite well in this tank. When you are not top tier in a tier 5, whenever you're not top tier in a tier 6 or 7 match, you can do quite well enough still when you're being more of a passive scout, or being more of a support tank in that matchmaking. Now, what rules is the IKV 103 good at? With the howitzer and the gun handling stats, you can be quite the good medium to a short distance TD. You can be a good passive TD when it comes to the spotting rule for the team. When it comes to the vehicle sniping ability, you can be quite the good sniper when it comes to medium to short distances only. At the longer ranges, you can technically be a sniper at that range, but you will have more of a chance missing. With medium to short distance shots, there is a better chance that you can actually hit the enemy tank. With the mobility of the tank, you can be a good flanking TD, a support TD. Besides that, this is a general purpose jack of all trades type of TD. So you can switch in between being a passive spotter for the team, being a sniper, and being a front line type of TD when you have to in a hurry in the match. I have 2 replays to show you how well you can do in the IKV 103. Let's go to those 2 replays now. This replay, I will show you how well you can do in the IKV 103 when you are top tier. This replay, I will primarily be playing it as a support vehicle, and later on go on the offensive. To begin off, I am primarily using my camouflage net and the binocular telescope to be as a bit of a passive scout as I advance for my team, as we don't have a actual scout on this side. I begin moving up, gradually using the cover. Here, I got the first shot in the match for me on the VK there, doing a good amount of damage, about 350. I move forward, using this opportunity to shoot at the PT T25. With the momentum here, I push forward, continue being a support vehicle and a bit of a passive scout. Seeing none, I move forward. So far, things are going pretty good for us. For 5, I missed the grill there. I fully aim in this time to make sure I can hit the stuck. I fired blindly there, finishing the stuck off. Now it's time for me to focus in the middle. I missed the vehicle there by a bit as he got onto the other side of the hill in a timely fashion. It is 7-7, so things could go either way. I am looking at the KV-1 if I can actually penetrate the vehicle armor or not. Let's speed this up a bit. I had a thought, do I go in and get flank shots? But no, I shoot at the Chihi as someone saw it. I did get some shots at the enemy tank here, so probably the martyr shot at me. So I assist with doing some damage in this area. I one shot at the martyr there. This is where my usefulness to the team comes to an end. The rest of the team finished the match by killing all of the enemy tanks in a timely fashion, with me getting no more damage after this point. Being a top tier TD, I did about a total of 1500 damage, which is pretty nice when you added in the assist damage as well. For the total of 3 kills that I got. Let's go to the next replay to show you how well you can do in this vehicle when you are not exactly top tier. This replay, I am in a tier 7 match maximum to show you how well you can do in a match when you are going up against tier 6s and 7 heavy tanks primarily. Let's speed this replay up a bit. First thing first, I head down south here. I will be using the cover of the hills here to give me extra protection from enemy fire. Most of the team went south, so it's up to me and a few people that went down here to hold this part of the map. I tried firing at the IS-2 when it's on the move. Seeing I got shot at, I moved back. I got a shot on the IS-2 side armor. Being in this location here, I am lighting targets up, so I am getting assist damage, which is quite nice. I had a problem pinning the KV and the IS front armor with regular AP without hitting a weak spot, so I used HE round there for a moment. Seeing they are advancing, I switched to AP, and I am trying to toy with them to bring them closer to me. So the Bishop, the E25, and the allies around me can shoot at them. At this moment, I am keeping an eye on the map, seeing where the rest of the enemy forces are. I am staying on the move a bit, as the enemy artillery, the left FH-18B2, could easily finish me off. I am using the hill here, trying to get a opportunistic shot on the Capella of the IS and the KV in this area. I missed the shot as it moved back in time. The French arty hit me. Poking over the ridge line there was a bit risky. Now I'm in a pretty bad situation. The KB and the IS, they can finish me if they push forward. This is where having heat ammunition in a situation like this would have been handy, getting some of those penetrating shots that are ricocheting with the AP round I'm using. The shot missed a bit. I do not know if artillery is looking at me or not, so I'm moving on to get shot at. Now me and the KV here, we are playing a game of chicken to see who is going to poke over to get the finishing shot. With me moving, artillery will have a chance to kill me, so I turn to the right quickly, lock onto the KV, and finishing the target off with a good engine fire kill. Right now it is 11-11. With me advancing forward to get some additional spots for the bishop. This IS here, it finished me off. This replay I did quite well for not being a top tier TD in this match while playing mostly to the vehicle's strengths, weaknesses, while using the appropriate tactics at the right time. For the one kill that I got, I did about 1500 damage, primarily against vehicles that were a tier or two higher above than me. Let's go to the garage now to do a brief recap on the IKV 103 itself. Let's do a brief recap on the TD itself. This tank, for its tier, it is just average. It's not that good nor bad. If you want to do quite well in this vehicle, having good map situation awareness, skill is a must. Knowing the enemy armor tank layout is a must. Use the terrain around you to hide yourself if possible, so you do not take the enemy fire that they will be firing back at you. With the IKV 103 being a bit of a jack of all trades type of TD in a way, you can do quite well as long as you know when to switch in between the different roles in a hurry. It is very important that you know if you are going to be playing this tank primarily as a frontline TD with the paper thin armor and the low amount of hit points you have, if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be killed easily enough. Besides that, with the tank versatility, as long as you play toward the tank's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this TD. I hope that you learn a thing or two about this TD and how to use it properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.